analysis behind the code to the drawing game. So first, up top, lines 1 through 3, we have our global variables. So these things can be changed within the code when they are called. This code, which ranges over 100 lines, is the code for Bitmojis for both me and my partner. This is what calls them on the screen. So then we have the con button class that we've been using in class. So this is the creation of it, the width, height, what it would look like. We played around with the text in it, the size of the text, how big the button will be. So this is the basics of the button, and you'll see later on we call new ones. This is for what happens where you can click inside of the button. It sets the parameters for where, so I can't click over here to start the button. I have to click in the parameters given. This is what happens when the mouse is clicked. So we have an empty array for our scenes, which will be called later on. And this is our new button that we called with new X and Y, name, and function. So this button, the start button, only allows the user to go into the next scene. There's not a start button anywhere else in the program. And then we called the next page button, which the next page will appear top right. And then every time the user hits next page, a new scene occurs. And this is the current scene array. So then we have the splash screen, which is what you see here. All of our Bitmojis, we decided to change the font, make it a little more customized. Then we have each of our pages. So we labeled them page 1, page 2, page 3, and this is basically how we drew everything. This is our repetitive color palette on each page. This is calling the next page button at the end of each page. For page 2, we used the Winston code from Khan to create the Winston character. And basically it was given to us, so we put some credit up here. We have the next page button called at the end of this as well. For page 3, we have the fishes from previous programming and all of its relative and functional. We named each part of it, so we named like seaweed, fish. In the past we've named Winston, and we named the other one flower and sun. We did which sides. Basically we just did empty coloring book pages that the user can color, so all of the shapes had to be empty. The color palette as well. Page 4, once again calling next page. Page 4 is our end page. So we had the user hit spacebar to restart. We called both of our Bitmojis. And here you can see the array of all the scenes, which is something we've utilized in class. We use draw functions, numerous if statements throughout the program. If this happens, then XYZ will happen. So if key is pressed, the current scene is 4, which is the end screen, then the program will revert back to the splash screen and it can run from the beginning. There can only be one draw function per program, as well as only one mouse clicked. So when we originally did it, we had all the different scenes on different pages, and we combined it kept saying error. And it's because we had to combine all of our mouse clicked into one, as well as draw. We do not have a for loop because it would have been a bit unnecessary and more work than anything. We were going to do a for loop for the scenes, but it just made more sense to do an array. Nothing is really looping in this program or moving, so there's not much of a need for a for loop, and we just wanted to make the basics of the program as easy as it can get without overcomplicating things.